First ever episode of Under the Microscope. Today we'll be trying to find out answers to some of life's most important questions through a series of debates. The rules are fairly simple. Contestants will first be exposed to the question, then given a brief 20 seconds to figure out their positions. They will then each state their response, and after having done so, will be allowed to debate each other freely for another 2 minutes. Jimmy, Kenneth, and Derek will be joining us today to give us their opinions on the matters. Let's begin. Question number 1. Is water wet?
I think yes.
I'm pretty sure it's no.
I don't know.
You know, the reason why I say yes is because wet means that it's saturated with water. So water in and of itself is wet because it's saturated with water. So it's wet.
Okay. You have a point there, but you have to think about it this way. When you take a shower, you're covered with water. That's what makes you wet. Like sometimes, you wet yourself. The word wet means that you have you saturated your pants with some unknown material that is produced by your human body. So the item itself, the clothes, is wet. And the action wet yourself means you use water to saturate that specific item, not water itself.
Okay, well, let me give you this example. So you see, you have a cup of water, right? Now if you look at the chemistry side of it, if you look really deep into that water, you see an H2O molecule. And that molecule is surrounded by more H2O. Is that molecule wet?
It's not wet.
But it is. If a towel is wet, it is covered in water and it's surrounded by water. That means it's wet, right?
No.
Okay, wet is the feeling that a person experiences when coming in contact with that solution. But that solution itself is not wet because it has no feelings.
See, okay, the thing is, like you said, there could be many H2O molecules surrounded by H2O molecules, right? But in order to have something to be wet, it has to be an unknown material that has H2O, or just like iron, like specifically speaking, like the material of like a towel has H2O in it, that makes the towel wet. But the H2O itself is not wet because it's not covered or is on or other unknown other material. So therefore H2O itself is not wet. But if when it's on something else, that makes the item wet.
What about ice? What if ice has a little bit of moisture on it? Is it wet? I don't think Jimmy understands what water is. I mean, the guy drinks out of a Brita filter. Like, everyone knows it's all about bottled water, right? No tap, no Brita filter, bottled is the way to go.
If it does not produce water on certain materials, then the ice itself is not wet.
But the ice is covered in water, yet it is not exactly liquid water, so it is wet.
See, okay, if you think about ice, it's still H2O. It's nothing else on it. It's just this change of state. It's changed from water, liquid, to solid. It does not change the fact that it's still composed of H2O. So it H2O on H2O, not wet. H2O on something else, on another material, then it's wet.
So let's say you have a solution of 0.1 molarity hydrochloric acid. So it's like hydrochloric acid with water. Is that solution wet? It's hydrochloric acid with water on it. Would it be wet?
Well, you wouldn't know unless you touch it to experience how it feels. So then that just proves the point that the water itself is not wet. It just you experience contact with that solution.
All right,
But
boys,
it's
I'm going to have to cut you off there. We're going to have to move on to our next question. All right, now this one might be a tough one. Now, question number 2. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I had one yesterday.
Hot dog sandwich.
Both.
I would say it is.
But it's not, though.
But it is.
It's not.
Look, a sandwich in and of itself is bread covering something with another piece of bread on the other side. So, if you have a hot dog, you have bread with a piece of hot dog and then bread on the other side.
See, you're thinking the wrong way, man. What shape does sandwich take? What kind of shape it takes? A sandwich takes?
Well,
Triangular, right? If you think about that way.
Triangular.
Yes.
A triangle sandwich.
Yeah, a triangle sandwich is very well. Like if you cut a sandwich in half, it's triangle, right? The shape itself is very important. It's called sandwich.
What about the rectangles and the squares?
You cut it in half, it's still triangle. Use triangles. It's just different triangles.
Well, if you get it, well, a hot dog is just a really long rectangle. If you cut it in half, that's a triangle.
No, it's
Yes.
oval. It's
Stop.
oval.
Stop,
No, it
guys.
would not be oval.
A hot dog consists of a bun and the hot dog. That's what makes it a hot dog. A sandwich does not have a hot dog in it. It has like other fillings, like vegetables, meat, or cheese. Is a hamburger a hot dog?
Well, you can add vegetable, meat, and cheese to a hot dog.
Well,
And
what
there
is-
are sandwiches with meat inside them. What if you just change the form of that meat? So you take that hot dog, you smush it into a nice triangle shape, and then you make that bun into a nice triangle shape, and then you have the exact same composition, and you make it into that shape. Is it a sandwich?
Okay,
It's
just
still
like
a hot
It's still a
dog.
sandwich.
okay, like you
It would still
It's
be
a hot dog,
It would be a
because-
sandwich.
okay, like you said. Okay, what do we use to make a hot dog again?
The sausage.
And
The sausage is meat.
and
the
what?
bread. And the bread.
The bun.
The bread. Which the bun is
No.
basically bread.
I
No,
disagree.
wait, bun and bread are different.
What
No,
makes a
they're the
hot
same,
dog
though.
is it having the meat is a hot dog. You know it's a hot dog.
Well,
Yeah.
what if you took bread, like regular
Wait.
bread, and you got meat that was made of the same meat as a hot dog, and you put it between those pieces of bread? Would it be a sandwich?
No,
Yes,
wait,
no, it would
wait.
be
It
a
would
hot
still be a
dog.
sandwich.
No, wait. I have to understand this part. The hot dog means just that one sausage. It means that is a hot dog. Itself is called hot dog. Without the bun, it still calls a hot dog. So if your definition of a hot dog is like a bun, the smash, like the sandwich between.
All right, Jimmy, I'm gonna have to cut you off there. That's the time.
Ah!
Alrighty, thank you for joining us, everyone.